President-elect Donald Trump threatening to take back control of the Panama Canal after saying the country is charging excessive rates to use the passage.
Madeline Rivera is in Washington with more. Hey, Maddie.
Hi, good morning, Carly and Todd. President-elect Trump says on Truth Social the U.S. is being ripped off. He criticized former President Jimmy Carter, calling him foolish for ceding U.S. control of the Panama Canal. Here's Trump on Sunday.
If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America in full, quickly, and without question. I'm not going to stand for it.
The United States is the top user of the Panama Canal. The International Trade Association estimates about 70% of ships moving through the passageway go to or come from U.S. ports. But the Center of Strategic and International Studies states China's increasing influence in and around the canal has made the waterway a flashpoint. Now the president of Panama is firing back.
I want to express that every square meter of the Panama Canal and its adjacent areas belong to Panama and will continue to belong to Panama. The sovereignty and independence of our country are not negotiable.
Trump is also setting his sights on Greenland. He made this indication also on Truth Social while announcing Ken Howery as his choice for U.S. ambassador to Denmark. Trump says on Truth Social, for purposes of national security and freedom throughout the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. Trump in his first term was looking into the U.S. buying Greenland, but Danish officials rejected the notion of selling the island, which is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, shortly after Trump canceled a trip to the country. Carly and Tom.
All right, Madeline Rivera live for us in Washington. Maddie, thank you so much. Let's bring in Executive Director of the Center for a Secure Free Society, Joseph Humire. Joseph, good morning to you. So some really interesting things to talk about with you today, from Panama to Greenland, two countries you don't often talk about, especially in the same sentence. So what do you think about what President Trump is saying here, and what is he trying to accomplish?
So first of all, I think, as usual, President Trump is forecasting something that's very strategic that may not be in the public attention. The Panama Canal is probably one of the 7 strategic choke points, waterways throughout the world, that is not just a commercial transit hub for U.S. commerce, but it's a transit hub for our U.S. Navy. And over time, what's happened is the Panama Canal has been diminished by having control over China. So this was a message not just for Panama, but was a message for China, who has been controlling both sides of the canal, the operations of the canal, has been controlling the port holding companies, and slowly is encroaching upon the Western Hemisphere. And so I think what President Trump is trying to do is he's trying to bring that to the attention of not just the United States public, but to the entire partners in Latin America, to say that there's going to be a new focused attention on this, and that when the canal was turned over, when it was sold by Jimmy Carter, which was, I agree, I think it was a mistake, but it was never sold with the intention that this was going to be then operated by other third-party countries, particularly countries that are adversarial to the United States.
Yeah, well, we'll watch this one play out and see if the president of Panama hops on a flight to Mar-a-Lago so that they can hash this one out. So President-elect Trump also said something interesting yesterday regarding keeping America safe during his speech in Arizona. 2 words, Iron Dome. Listen to this.
The DEA, the FBI, the intelligence community, and financial sanctions to remove the migrant gangs and criminals that are killing and raping and maiming our citizens. We're going to get them out. We're going to get them out. We're going to get them out fast. We have no choice. We have no choice, by the way.
So what do you think about that?
No, I think this is, again, President Trump making campaign promises into policies that are going to be enacted by his administration. One of the biggest reasons that I think President Trump got elected was because of the lack of border security that we have in the United States. And I think that one of the first things he's going to do in his administration is start to not just deport criminals, but to put law and order back into the United States. And one of the things that I think that is most inattended to by the Biden administration is these migrant gangs, these criminals, particularly the ones that are coming from Venezuela, the Tren de Aragua, that is terrorizing more than 30 cities throughout the country. So I think President Trump's basically keeping with the montage of promises made, promises kept, and he's making sure that that's going to be a big part of his administration, particularly in the first days after January 20th.
All right, Joseph, thank you so much for sticking with us, because a little bit of a soundbite issue. He also said that he's promising to make an American-made Iron Dome to protect the country from any projectile attacks. A significant statement from him. How important is that?
No, I mean, right now what we're seeing throughout the world is an unprecedented level of instability. What's happening in the Middle East, obviously what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, and the conflicts that are bubbling up all throughout the world. And I think what President Trump is trying to reassure Americans is that you're going to be safe under my watch. That we have all these threats, we have all these concerns, but that we're going to be able to project strength, and by projecting strength, we're going to be able to defend American sovereignty, American territory, and most importantly, American lives. And I think that that's the message that he's been sending all throughout his campaign. I think it's one of the main reasons that he got elected. And I think that now is the time that he's going to have to project that throughout the world. That has everything to do from the Panama Canal to the border and to this projected of an Iron Dome around the United States.
All right, Joseph Humire, thank you so much for joining us. Merry Christmas to you. We appreciate you hopping on this morning. Have a great day.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so much.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.